to all of those sponsors, $6 million over all these years. Wow. So just amazing. Thank all of them. If you go by their booths, give them a little nod and tell them thank you. So in my quest to talk about the support that we all get in getting here, I decided to do an informal poll on Facebook. I got 131 responses to the question, where do you get the most support for your love of quilting? So we're going to have a little award ceremony for this. So number one, first place was husbands. People wrote over and over, me too, about their husbands. And certainly their families too. My daughters have been an integral part of support for me ever since I began. So this is Kathy Wiley, a Best of Show winner back in 2018. But I have to say that I think, quilters obviously are pretty darn good at picking their men. Okay. So this is Kathy Wiley's husband, Bob. And I decided to ask him in all seriousness, what advice would you give to another husband whose wife had decided to take up quilting? So his answer was, learn to cook, get yourself a hobby. And at least he did say feed him some fabric, so that was very good. Okay. So my husband, who's here tonight, 53 years of marriage, he is particularly gifted at his support. So this is a quilt I did a few years ago, and it was one of my first few attempts at those grid quilting, and trying really hard. Everything was really marked, all those sashiko designs. I spent weeks quilting them in as perfectly following those lines as I could. I was finally done. I was so excited to be done. He comes home from work and I'm like, yes, I'm done. Look at those clamshells. And he's trying to be, a really good supporter. So he looks at them very carefully. He takes several minutes and then he says, and it's really cool. They're each a little different, aren't they? And maybe you'd like to make your own dinner. But he's not the most reliable critic. Okay. Second place was our quilt guilds, our quilting groups, our quilting buddies. I even had one lady write, and she said, the people in my guild have supported me, challenged me, and loved me, even if I'm really tired, really frustrated, and maybe even unlovable. And then third place, seriously, there are 3 Facebook groups dedicated to quilters and their cats. And these were all pictures that I found on Facebook just the week I was putting this program together. So those kitties are apparently a very big help. But we do need an honorable mention. A few good dogs. Okay. But we're so excited tonight. Everybody help me with a drum roll. All right, let's get to the awards. So welcome to the 37th annual AQS QuiltWeek award presentation. And we welcome all of you who are watching on the live webcast and on the AQS tube channel, Quilt TV. It is with great pride that we now announce the winners of the 37th annual AQS Quilt Contest. To begin, we need to acknowledge the sponsors once again. The sponsors listed in your programs make the $125,400 cash awards possible. That's for this show. Will the representatives of our sponsoring companies please stand if they're here tonight? We'd like to recognize you. Thank you so very much. We would like to recognize all the winners at the beginning here of all the honorable mention awards. When your name is called, please stand and remain standing so we can celebrate all of the honorable mention award winners with a round of applause. So first of all, we have Lucy's Garden, Roseanne Smith, Lawrence, Kansas. So if you're here, we'll look for you. Spring Flowers, Sherry Durbin, Burnsville, North Carolina. Very Fussy Dear Jane, Alice Eikenberry, Richland, Washington, down the road from me. A Story of the Kokishi, Megumi Miyazu, from Japan. The Lizzie Albright quilt, Ricky Timms and Friends, from La Veta, Colorado. Benefits of the Big Tree, Mariko Miwa, Japan. Baked with Love, Linda Neal, McKinney, Texas. Yay! All right. And then we have Renew Anew, Elizabeth Ray, from Bentonville, Arkansas. Jazzy New York Beauty, Marcia Walper, Tallahassee, Florida. Hawaiian Plants, Naomi Ida, Japan. McCall's Green Dresses, Sharon Abrams, Sun City West, Arizona. My Baltimore Halloween Celebration, Trina Freshour, Lebanon, Illinois. Creating Magic, Sue Devaney, Victoria, Australia. Holly Jolly Christmas by Pamela Hunt, Port Charlotte, Florida. Hope Chest Heirlooms, Napkin number 2, Sally Terrace, Sunnyvale, California. And All Tied Up in Knots by Joyce Puffenbarger, Benton, Kentucky. So congratulations once again to all of the honorable mention winners. We're so excited when you're here tonight and we can recognize you and congratulate you. So Tamara Haynes is going to join me now. She's the executive account manager for the American Quilter magazine, and she's going to present the awards this evening. If you are present and your name is called as a winner, please come to the stage. Come up this side and we'll go down that side, and to receive your award. We're going to start with the Judges Recognition Awards this year, and those were sponsored by Quilt Path by APQS. So our first one was from Judge Nancy Mahoney. There, it's up on the screen for you. Smile for You, Keiko Manami, Japan. And Nancy told us that the fabric choices and placement worked so well to create an effective design. The combination of pieced and appliqué motifs work well together. I especially like the ombre fabrics in the outer border. Nice hand quilted motifs and piping along the edge makes for a wonderful added element. And then it was my Judge's Choice Award. And this one is named Uber by Lois Wolf and Barb Terlink. They are from Little Swamico, Wisconsin. And I said that the face captured my heart and made it lighter. Shadowing to create form added so much two-dimensional reality. The pathway in the sand led our eyes into a distant mirage of soft colors and fuzzy outlines, and great depth was captured in perspective. I love camels and how they are often dressed and embellished for special occasions. The embellishments added to the feeling of whimsy and joy. I'm not so sure that I want that crow riding along, though. Thank you.
Magpie.
Magpie. Oh, I love magpies, and we'll take it. She says it was a magpie. Okay, then the quilt recognized by Judge Cindy Seeds Krug. African Crazy Play by Ann Horton, Redwood Valley, California. Cindy commented, your brightly colored fabric choices and their placement is exceptionally well handled. The hand stitching in each shape added fabulous visual and actual textures. The combination of circular and irregular shapes is visually intriguing, and the variety in scale created a wonderful unity. The golden side and top borders finish off the composition beautifully. Great work. So congratulations to all of the Judge Choices winners. And now we're going to move along to the miniature quilts category. And that was sponsored by Quilters Select by Alex Anderson and RNK Distributing. Third place award was Paradise Valley Kumiko Friedel from Houston, Texas. And her quilt, her description, you'll hear all the descriptions that our artist gave us. The COVID-19 pandemic engulfed the old normal ways for many. Staying at home and working on projects is Kumiko's normal, but luckily she can work while overlooking paradise in her garden where butterflies flutter innocently. Techniques include decorative stitching, fabric and thread painting, and shadowing. And this quilt is like this big, not that big. Second place award was Hawaiian Plants Mini from Naomi Iida, Tokyo, Japan. And Naomi painted the outlines of the flowers to give them a three-dimensional appearance. This is a miniature version of a quilt she made that was 40 inches square. Techniques include paint sticks and whole cloth. First place award, Pilgrim and Roy, Amy Paps, Leroy, West Virginia. This quilt was inspired by an antique quilt from the Pilgrim and Roy collection. It was foundation pieced on a 1947 Singer featherweight and machine quilted in the ditch on a Bernina. Techniques used were piecing, foundation piecing, and quilting with a walking foot. Congratulations to all the winners in the miniature quilt category. We're going to move along to the small wall quilts. And this was really exciting for the staff in the judging room and all the judges, because this is quilters who was their first entry into the AQS Paducah contest. And we all know how that vulnerable sort of first feeling when you first do that. This was sponsored by the Applique Society. And our third place award was Serendipity. Kathy Shern and Corey Allender, Washington, Utah. Classic vintage rose pattern was made with reds, greens, and iridescent white. The design appears to move with the intricate machine quilting done by Corey Allender and celebrates the season. Serendipity is center star laying flat, and machine piecing was used. Okay, the second place award was Wilbur and Orville, two silly squirrels. Lorraine Stenowish, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Lorraine loves her backyard squirrels. COVID isolation provided a quilting opportunity to focus on their squirrely activities and to name them for their high-flying antics. Techniques included fussy cut positioning and corded binding. And our first place award, In the Morning Light, Roxanne Nelson from Alberta, Canada. She says, Impressionism is the art of capturing a moment in time when the play of sunlight brings life to a subject. She hopes you are drawn into this fabric portrait of a posing duck and imagine the warmth of the early morning sun on the brilliant white feathers. Techniques were collage and raw edge applique. Congratulations to all the winners of the first entry into the AQS Paducah contest. Small quilt. Okay, small quilts pictorial category, sponsored by FOF. The third place award, one in every crowd. Carol Russell, Ontario, Canada. Carol took a picture of these fish on a dock in Destin, Florida, and knew it would make a great painting or a quilt. She loved embellishing the fish with metallic threads and paints to get the fish to glisten. Techniques used included fabric painting, applique, and quilting. The second place award, Passiflora, Find Joy, Live Your Passion. Andrea Brookenshire, Round Rock, Texas. She is coming. I thought you were here. Good. Well, you got back just in time. So Andrea created this quilt after the death of her father. She put all her varied emotions into this quilt, and lost in stitching and memories, it was a solace to paint and then stitch away her sorrow to transform to joy. Techniques included fabric and thread painting, thread sketching, and whole cloth. Congratulations. The first place award, Something About Succulents. Cynthia England, Dixonson, Texas. Another quilt made during COVID to keep Cynthia sane. When you look at this quilt close up, you may wonder at her journey of sanity. Used a palette of 160 fabrics. There are approximately 18,500 pattern pieces. There's a honeybee amid the leaves on the left side. Picture piecing was used. Congratulations to all the winners in the small wall quilt pictorial category. small wool quilts still, but quilter's choice. So Bonnie explained that the quilter had their choice of techniques, whatever they wanted to put into this category. It was sponsored by Janome America, Long Arm. So the third place award, Tammy Graber, Tucson, Arizona. Come on. Inspired by a photo taken at the McNay Art Museum in San Antonio, Texas, by unidentified colors and used with permission, Tammy was enthralled with the Mexican tiles and had painted many, but in full size. Some of these were less than an inch and a real challenge. Techniques included beading, confetti, applique, and fabric painting. Thank you so much. The second place award, Picasso, the art thief. Nikki Hell, St. Augustine, Florida. This is Nikki's tribute to a lost Picasso work, a real one, Le Pigeon au Petit Pois. I looked it up, which was stolen along with 4 other pieces from the Paris Museum of Modern Art in 2010. The thief claimed that the paintings were thrown in the trash. They have never been recovered. Techniques included broderie purse, fabric painting, and inking. First place award, Come On In, The Water's Fine. Roxanne Nelson, Alberta, Canada. This is one of the 400 remaining wild Sumatran tigers. From a distance, the tiger seems real, but on closer inspection, the exclusive use of a fabric micro-collage technique is evident. His expression is enticing you into the water. How can you resist? Applique raw edge and collage were used. Congratulations to all the winners in the Quilter's Choice Small Wall Quilts. Okay, small wall quilts, movable machine quilter category, sponsored by Pro Stitcher. Third place award, Crimea River, Heidi Profetti. This quilt design was inspired by forms of ancient and modern tile art. This is an original technique where a hand-drawn mosaic design was manually traced to create a digital pattern. The 2,700 small fabric pieces are cut using a digital cutting machine. Techniques include applique, mosaic, and quilting. Second place, Victoria Tuelas. And Tammy comes back up. Come on, Tammy. Tammy Graber, Tucson, Arizona. Inspired by Victorian era tiles that Tammy collects. She created this quilt using unique techniques to appear like a traditional quilt. The center feathers pop because of the inking around them. The pink, guys, is cork. She'll tell us more about that. Techniques include beading, crystals, fabric painting, and inking. What a good night for you. Okay, and the first place award, Hidden Gems by Gail Stepanek and Jan Hutchison, not here, New Lenox, Illinois. Focusing on the ground while on a mushroom hunt, Gail noticed plants and flowers that she had overlooked on previous walks. Silhouetted grass and branches are heat-transferred flocked vinyl. Jan used Pearl X pigment to highlight some of the leaves. Techniques are applique, piecing, fabric painting, and quilting. Congratulations to all those winners in the small wall quilts movable machine quilting. Okay, small wall quilts, stationary machine quilted category, sponsored by Koala Studios and presented by Calico Country Sew and Back. Third place award, Been There Before, by Karen Stone, Dallas, Texas. Improvisationally pieced from her hand-dyed and commercial cottons, machine quilted with cotton batting and cotton and silk threads. Her techniques included dyeing, piecing, and quilting. The second place award, A Look into the Past, Peg Collins, Alamosa, Colorado. This quilt was inspired by the Summitville mining camp of the 1890s through 1920. It is considered one of the largest ghost towns in Colorado. This is a photo Peg took looking through the windows of one of the miners' homes. Techniques included applique, thread painting, and quilting. And the first place award, Heat Lightning, by Amy Pops from Leroy, West Virginia. This quilt was foundation pieced on a 1947 Singer featherweight and machine quilted in the ditch on a Bernina. There are over 9,000 pieces in this quilt. Techniques were foundation piecing and quilting with a walking foot. Congratulations to all the winners in the small wall quilt stationery. Okay, moving on to the hand quilted category, small wall quilts. This one is sponsored by Martinelli Enterprises. Third place award, Gauguin's Tahitian Landscape by Kirsten Neiman, Troy, Virginia. It's a textile reproduction of a Gauguin's painting Tahitian landscape. Wool and silk fabric was machine appliqued and then hand quilted with pearl cotton. Techniques included applique, embroidery, quilting, and the use of wool. The second place award, Paramecium aurelia, or amoeba. This one was by Jackie Perry of Marion, Virginia. Who would think that a Paramecium aurelia, or amoeba, could have such beauty? Look closely under a microscope and they move and even glitter. The design includes ruche flowers, beading, crystals, trapunto, and was entirely hand quilted. It took 2 years to complete, and techniques included beading, crystals, and ruching. The first place award is Colorful by Yuko Takahashi, Japan. Yuko wishes happiness and health, especially during COVID, to all. Techniques included applique-piecing, bias work, piecing, and quilting. Congratulations to all the winners of the small wall quilts hand quilted. So we go from one of our oldest techniques of hand quilting to modern quilts, sponsored by Statler by Gamel. The third place award goes to Zigzag and Circles, number 8, by Carol Breyer Fallett Gentry from Port Townsend, Washington. In an effort to simplify her work, Carol decided to design a piece that combined free-form zigzags, circles, and a few free-form curves. Techniques included applique, digital fabric painting, and quilting. Second place award was to Sunshine Daydream by Karen Stone from Dallas, Texas. Another #2 tonight. Improvisationally pieced from hand-dyed and commercial cottons. This one was machine quilted with wool batting and cotton and silk threads. She's already promised it to her daughter, Chelsea. The techniques used included piecing and quilting. First place award, Circling 7-Star by Lynn Crump from Queensland, Australia. Star points, fabric colors, embroidery threads, and circle paths combined to orbit around Lynn's 7th feathered star. This time a 7-point star. Quilting is all freehand guided with lots of ruler work and even more fun. Techniques included crystals, embroidered facing, applique, and quilting. Congratulations to the modern quilt category winners, Wall Quilts. Wall Quilts, Quilter's Choice category, sponsored by Elna, USA. The third place award, Apples, Peaches, and Cherries by Margaret Dochettery from Durham, United Kingdom. Lots of birds, blossoms, and berries. Everything Margaret loves. Blocks grew from fabric she had available. Fussy cutting, broderie purse, and hand appliqued with silk thread. Machine quilted as the black fabric turned out to be too heavy to hand quilt. Techniques included applique, broderie purse, embroidery, piecing, and quilting. The second place award, Declaration of Independence, Voices of Freedom. This one is by Nancy Prince and Terry Taylor, Orlando, Florida. The Declaration of Independence, Voices of Freedom, is a reproduction of John Trumbull's painting that is currently in the Capitol Rotunda. Each figure's clothing was separately thread painted to create dimension. Her techniques included digital fabric painting, embellishments, and thread painting. The first place award, Joyful Spring, Hiroko Miyami and Masanobu Miyami, Japan. They wanted to make a fun quilt. They certainly did. They let frogs, stuffed animals, their granddaughter and grandson, and the dog jump. Snow-capped mountains are symbols of their town, Mount Jonan and Mount Yokodashi. 1,900 leaves, 300 flowers of apple trees were all reverse applique. Techniques used included applique piecing, dyeing, applique, and embroidery. Congratulations to all the winners in the Wall Quilts Quilter's Choice. Wall quilts, but movable machine quilted, sponsored by Juki America. Third place, Hungarian Rhapsody by Margaret Solomon Gunn from Maine. The original quilt using bold silk mimics the look of Hungarian crewel embroidery. Techniques included applique, bias work, piped, edging, and piecing. Good job. The second place award, the Troubadour, Lynn Sedinski I really struggled on this one. Sidin sticker, Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Lutz modified the traditional mariner's compass block to capture the magic of petals unfolding on the giant mammoth sunflowers. In the background, a bluebird serenades his companion at the tune of O Solo Mio. The piece was completely machine-pieced, including beading, couching, and piecing. We got to do first. First is Cleopatra's Treasure, Maryland Badger, St. George, Utah. This quilt combines a hand-dyed vintage doily by Wendy Richardson and fabrics by Paula Nettlestern. They just seem to have been made for each other, although the fabrics were in Maryland's stash and undiscovered until she brought that doily home from Paducah. Techniques included applique, beading, crystals, decorative stitching, and fabric painting. Congratulations to all the winners of the wall quilts in the movable machine category. Okay, stationary machine quilted category, sponsored by Baby Lock USA and presented by Calico County Sew and Back. Third place award, Andrea Brokenshire for Desert in Spring from Round Rock, Texas. We have several quilters who doubled up this year. This quilt was inspired by a trip Andrea and her mom took. She loved the leathery texture of the prickly pear cactus leaves, paddles, and the almost translucent citron yellow blossoms. Her techniques included fabric painting, quilting, whole cloth, thread painting, and sketching. Yay! Yay! My mom would be so happy. She said her mom would be so happy. Second place award, Typhoon by Janneke de Vries Boodzinga from Friesland, Netherlands. This quilt is based on climate change. The techniques included applique, embroidery, piecing, and quilting. We were kind of hopeful that she might be here. First place award, ABC D Divine, Janet Stone, Overland Park, Kansas. There she comes. Inspired by antique quilt blocks, an original design that's free motion quilted on a stationary machine with some stuffed trapunto accents and a few embellishments. Techniques included applique, bias work, and embellishments. Congratulations to all of the winners this week in the wall quilt stationary machine quilted category. Yeah, you don't want to forget that. Okay, the group quilt category. So this is fun. A bunch of friends would get together and each contribute their own talents to their work. Third place award, My Lucky Stars by Jill Isaacson, Linda Neal, and Richard Larson. A collaboration of friends that love color. Techniques used included applique and piecing. And what are you going to tell Richard? Way to go. Good job. Okay, the second place award by Gyrolicious by Linda Brown, Linda Finney, and Marilyn Badger. Inspired by a Claudia Myers design, the group each added their own changes and participated equally in every phase of construction and embellishing. The quilting was shared equally between Marilyn and Linda Brown. Their techniques included beading, fabric painting, crystals, and decorative stitching. Their group's name is QUTI, Quilting Under the Influence. They're from St. George, Utah. The first place award, Sherbert on a Cloudy Day. D. Ligvoet, Mary Reinhardt, Nathan Carter, Paige Johnson. Their group name is Just Four Friends, and they are from Apple Valley, Minnesota. A four-person collaboration of give and take to create this modern take on a medallion quilt. Design, color placement, and techniques were all decided together. And they included applique, embroidery, piecing, and quilting. Congratulations to all the winners of the group quilt category for getting along so amazingly well and producing beautiful works. Thank you. Hand quilted quilts category, sponsored by Arrow Sewing. Third place award, In the Square Where the Refreshing Breeze is Blowing, by Isako Wada, Japan. When Isako traveled abroad, she found a square paved with flagstones. The landscape around the square was beautiful, and she was so impressed. A refreshing breeze blowing through the trees and houses made her so relaxed. She expressed her impression in this quilt. Techniques include applique, embroidery, and piecing. The second place award goes to Philly with Priscilla, Barbara Korengold and Chevy Chase from Maryland. Oh, from Chevy Chase, Maryland. Chevy Chase came to work, became a quilter too. Barbara and her friend Priscilla Lade drafted patterns based on a 19th century botanical quilt. This is in the collection of the Philadelphia Museum of Art. Her techniques included applique, broderie purse, piecing, quilting, ruching, and embroidery. So many details in all these beautiful quilts that you have to take time to look for. First place award, With a Wish to the Stars, Kyoko Yamachi, oh boy, Japan. I am very sorry, Kyoko. Peonies delight us with their large blossoms. At night, while watching the stars in the garden, Kyoko was thankful for the peace and tranquility of everyday life, and she wanted to preserve it in a form, so she expressed it in My Favorite Quilt. This is her word, so I assume her favorite quilt. Techniques included applique, beading, and embroidery. Congratulations to the winners of the hand quilted quilts category. Now we're to the large quilts for the first entry into an AQS Paducah contest. This is sponsored by Gamma. Third place award, Cactus Mountain XXL, or Kiono Nason, East Norrington, Pennsylvania. Kiono created this piece by piecing two panels, each measuring 60 inches by 100 inches. She cut the panels into 2-inch strips and interweaved them. She then machine stitched the matchstick quilting using multiple thread colors and weights in a gradient from teal to yellow. Techniques include matchstick quilting, piecing, and interweaving. Second place award, Missouri Splendor, by Catherine Malone, Grove Spring, Missouri. Applique has long been Catherine's passion, and she has a particular interest in album-style quilts due to their complexity and her love for handwork. Techniques include applique, embroidery, and piecing. And the first place award, I Ain't Afraid to Applique, by Donna Daniel from Hazel Green, Alabama. This quilt was Donna's attempt to overcome her fear of applique. I think she probably has now, which was a method that had always intimidated her. Her techniques included applique and piecing. Congratulations to all those winners in the large quilt category, first time entry. Large Quilts Movable Machine Quilted category, sponsored by ABM International. Third place award, Auntie Tess. By Patty Nelson from Manhattan, Kansas. Auntie Tess is an original design by Corliss Searsree of Threadbare Patchwork and Quilting. The design was inspired by a vintage powder compact shown in the center circular, a multicolored floral bouquet, and a vase of hand needle-turned applique. Techniques include applique, embroidery, piecing, and quilting. Thank you. The second place award goes to Berries in the Sun by Martha Walker, Atkinson, Kansas. Martha began making the blocks in 2000. It was after making several blocks that she decided to design a quilt that used the blocks as a centerpiece for an applique border featuring berries on a flowing vine. She finally completed this quilt in 2022. Her techniques included applique, piecing, and quilting. And the first place award goes to Pathfinder by Kira Reps from Northwood, Iowa. Pathfinder's top is solely hand sewn together. The applique is turned edge applique using the applique tools and method. Kira then free motion quilted her secondary designs on her Innova long arm. And this one, there are over 3,405 just in dots. Techniques included applique, piecing, and piped edging. Congratulations to all those winners in the large quilt movable. Large quilt stationary machine quilted, sponsored by Husqvarna Viking. Third place award, third time's a charm, yes it was, by Ruth Ahole Lockport, New York. Each year during baseball season, Ruth makes a quilt while her husband enjoys every single Yankees game. This is her third quilt in the series. This year also happened to be COVID year, so she had lots of time. She worked entirely from her stash, and her techniques included applique, bias work, and piped edging. Good job. Her husband will be so excited. Second place award, Holiday Splendor, Inger Blood, Camino, California. The construction of this quilt was over 10 years in the making. From designing on EQ7, collecting the fabrics, construction and quilting, to the embellishments. Inger finished the quilting in 2020 during lockdown and blocked and embellished it in 2021. Her techniques include applique, beading, crystals, and decorative stitching. First place award, Beyond Reason Angela Petroselli, Prescott Valley, Arizona. Yay, she's here. She starts her description with some accomplishments are beyond reason. This quilt is the embodiment of a dream, not of a finished product, but the journey and completion of a process. Angela believed she could. She thought she should. She said she would, and she did. Okay, this is the winner of the pieces. There are 2,026 and 576 pieces in this quilt. Techniques include piecing and quilting, beyond reason. Congratulations to all the winners in the large quilts stationary machine quilted category. 226,576. Remember that number when you congratulate her at the quilt show. Okay, now for the special awards. We do have a special award in this year's contest, the Nancy Ann Sobel Award of Merit in Hand Quilting. Nancy Ann Sobel was a talented and dedicated quilter. She passed away in November 2017. Nancy won the Gingham Hand Workmanship Award with A Midwinter's Night Dream in 1990, and in 1991 she won Best of Show with Dawn Splendor in the AQS Quilt Contest. 4 of her quilts are in the collection at the National Quilt Museum here in Paducah. And to recognize Nancy's commitment to the art of hand quilting, a memorial fund was set up to support the Nancy Ann Sobel Award of Merit in Hand Quilting that is awarded annually in her name at the AQS QuiltWeek, Paducah. This year, the award of Merit in Hand Quilting goes to Best Wishes Miyuki Hamaba from Japan, drawing beautiful bouquets that bring happiness to us all. Her techniques included piecing, quilting, and trapunto. It's just beautiful. I love all of these quilts that you see now. We'll have an enlargement for you to really appreciate some of the details. Congratulations to the winner of the Nancy Ann Sobel Award of Merit in Hand Quilting. Best Wall Movable Machine Workmanship Award. This one's sponsored by Handy Quilter. The Handy Quilter Best Wall Movable Machine Quilting Award goes to Melissa Sabaco. It's from Richardson, Texas, and it's called Memories of a Miyako. Melissa may correct my pronunciation. Was I even close? Congratulations to the winner of the Handy Quilter Wall Movable Machine Workmanship Award. Oh, this portrait is of a young Mayako, she said it was close, who was training to become a geisha. Techniques used included whole cloth, fabric painting, and embroidery. Okay, now Best Wall Stationary Machine Workmanship Award, sponsored by Brother International Corporation. And that Brother International Corporation Best Stationary Machine Workmanship Award goes to Butterflies, Bees, and Alphabet Trees. Janet Stone, Overland Park, Kansas. Janet had the word alphabet trees in her head for a while and always wanted to make a quilt featuring trees and the alphabet. The gold letters were free motion embroidered. and the cream-colored backgrounds were appliqued using a decorative stitch. Techniques used include applique, beading, embellishments, and embroidery. Congratulations, Janet, for the Brother Wall Stationary Machine Workmanship Award. Best Wall Hand Workmanship Award, sponsored by Coates and Clark. The Coates and Clark Best Wall Hand Workmanship Award goes to Ruby by Christine Wickert, Penfield, New York. The red and white interpretation of Deborah Kimball's Floral Abundance quilt celebrates my 40th year of quilting. It is made entirely of silk fabric, including the backing and the batting. Techniques included were applique, beading, embroidery, piecing, quilting, and trapunto. Congratulations to the winner of the Coates and Clark Hand Workmanship Award. And now for those purchase awards that go to be in the collection at the National Quilting Museum here in Paducah. The Best Miniature Quilt Award, sponsored by Superior Threads. The Superior Threads Best Miniature Quilt Award goes to Aki Sake, Tokyo, Japan. And she is here. This is her third Halloween quilt. This one took her about 4 months to make. Techniques included applique, embellishments, and embroidery. Congratulations, the winner of the Superior Threads Best Miniature Quilt Award. But then we have the Best Wall Quilt Award, sponsored by AQUilt, so don't sit down. The AQUilt Best Wall Quilt Award goes to Merry Christmas. Come on. So this one is her second Christmas quilt. This one took about, oh dear, you okay? This one took her about a year to make. She made it with the hope that every one of you can have a happy Christmas. Techniques include applique, embellishments, and embroidery. Congratulations! To the winner of the AQUilt Best Wall Quilt Award. Okay, Best Movable Machine Workmanship Award, sponsored by American Professional Quilting Systems. The APQS Best Movable Machine Workmanship Award goes to Harlequinade by Becky Pryor, Mansfield, Texas. Harlequinade is full of visual clues, guiding the viewers to discover a hidden story. Inspired by Venetian carnival masks and commedia d'arte characters, the quilt features Harlequin, the trickster, who has his own ideas about freedom and fun, and her techniques included dyeing, inking, and fabric painting. Congratulations to the winner of the APQS Best Movable Machine Workmanship Award. Best Stationary Machine Workmanship Award, sponsored by Bernina of America. The Bernina of America Best Stationary Machine Workmanship Award goes to Joyful Japan. Pat Holly from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Inspired by her wonderful trip to Japan. And this original design is mostly machine made with some hand stitching, silk fabric, and purchased trims. Her techniques included applique, decorative stitching, and embroidery. Congratulations to the winner of the Bernina Best of America Best Stationary Machine Workmanship Award. Aren't these enlargements just give you such a little taste that you're just going to run over there to see them up close? So beautiful. The American Quilter Society Best Hand Workmanship Award is sponsored by American Quilter Society. The AQS Best Hand Workmanship Award goes to Harmony Sachiko from Chiba, Japan. She wanted her quilt to show beautiful blooming roses. They are loved by all. That's why she wanted to express their elegant and gorgeous appearance. She spent a lot of time designing, carefully selecting her fabrics, taking her time with each one. Techniques included applique, beading, and embroidery. Congratulations to the winner of the AQS Best Hand Machine Workmanship Award. Okay, ready? Close your eyes. And now the moment we have been waiting for. The Best of Show Award is sponsored by Janome America, and the Janome America Best of Show winner for the 37th Annual AQS QuiltWeek contest is Sweet Madam Blue by Margaret Solomon Gunn from Maine. Hand-dyed silk radiance fabric designed around 8 Turkish tatted doilies. The quilt features floral patterns seen on Turkish pottery combined with common Arabic geometric motifs. Techniques included beading, crystals, and embroidery. Congratulations to Margaret Solomon Gunn, winner of the Janome America Best of Show Award for 2023. So that concludes our awards presentation for the evening. We certainly hope you have enjoyed the stunning quilts recognized in this year's competition and that you will have lots of time to enjoy them again, along with hundreds of other fine quilts and the 37th Annual Quilt Week celebration. Special thank you for all of you coming tonight. So exciting. Thank you so much. Have a great Quilt Week.